From the Great Depression through a world war, riding the boom and surviving the busts, the men and women who have held the President's Gavel of the Nevada Chapter AGC created and nurtured an 80-year legacy to build a better community and construction industry with skill, integrity, and responsibility. Through their eyes, we see the growth from 21 firms in 1939 to the more than 300 contractors, subcontractors, material and service suppliers who make up the chapter we know today. Our presidents have been competitors and comrades, active in the halls of the legislature and actively sharing their knowledge and skills with the next generation of construction leaders. Through their reflections, we celebrate 80 years of the Nevada Chapter AGC.
God, you hit me off guard.
Okay.
And I can't remember. I think it was a lot of.
Gosh, I'm gonna draw a blank. I haven't a clue.
Man, those are all tough questions.
Educate, congregate, and what's the?
I can't remember a thing.
You know, I'm very shy.
Oh my gosh.
Can I cuss?
Well, I'm getting older. It's hard to remember that stuff. So.
I told him, go f*** yourself.
Man.
Oh, shit. I don't remember back then.
We were promised that by the time we were president, that we'd be out of the recession, and they lied to us.
Makes me laugh just thinking about some of them.
Mr. Bulentini, please refrain your language. You are on the internet. I said, Mr. President, why don't you tell the internet?
As I looked at John, it's like somebody took all the oxygen out of the room. He was gasping for air sitting there.
Ernie McKenzie was a national director of AGC, and Everett Brunzell was instrumental in doing a lot of public relations things through AGC, and he was the greatest storyteller in the world.
There was Walker Bodwin Construction, of course, McKenzie Construction, and Miser Construction. And since that time, of course, there's been a lot of input of a lot more contractors. But Helms had been here a long time. Marv Byers was, Marv had started in the dirt business by that time, and of course, Leo Tacori was working for Marv back in those days.
I heard some really good stories. You remember Leo?
Yeah, sure.
He was as big gets.
Getting to know people and some of the older people that had done some pretty big things in this community, and being able to meet those people and talk to them and actually learn some things from their experiences was a big thing, and I think AGC allowed me to do that.
People that we were able to follow, they're just wonderful people, pillars of the community, and I'm very fortunate to be part of it.
The old guys way back was like Andy Drum and Carl Dodge and Isabel Construction Company and Earl Gaines. Those are the old guys that started this and hired Roland, and they got it going. Probably most young guys in those years got all their education working for those people.
The wall of fame over there, and there's a lot of big personalities, a lot of people have done amazing things, and you hope you don't screw it up, you hope you do well and make everybody proud.
The people are really what counts, what's made this thing work through the years and why it's been so successful.
I think the biggest thing is the people. The staff from AGC and the members are wonderful people.
This is a people business. The people of Nevada are tremendous people. I mean, I met some of my best friends.
Whatever question you do have and you call, the response, the outreach, the support is tremendous, and it's instantaneous.
What makes it go is the people. Like Craig, and at that time we have Roland Oakes and John Madole and their wives all get involved.
These guys are the glue. These guys are the ones that have the mastermind to human emotion.
They are the machine that wakes us up every morning, tells us the problems and where we have to go and what we have to do.
Getting to know fellow contractors, competitor contractors, getting to see the other side, the human side of guys that you're out there trying to club each other in the business world, but you walk through those doors and you put the swords down.
In our chapter here, it was a lot of the camaraderie as well. And you were socializing with your competitors, and it was a good thing. I think everybody got more respect, and it just built the integrity between people.
The competitive nature is difficult to overcome. You could be bidding against any one of these several contractors moments before you enter into an AGC meeting.
And everybody may get in the room and take the gloves off for a while, and the end result, when you come out of that meeting, you got a resolution.
We don't really have a lot of enemies here working in northern Nevada. Of course, we're always trying to get work, and everyone wants more work and more work, but really people work together here. There's many times I'll call an AGC member for some advice, whether they're a competitor or a non-competitor. We're always working together.
They're just regular guys ready to help out their fellow contractor if you need to borrow something or need a little help.
Some of these people, I consider them my arch enemies, so I didn't want to share a whole lot with them. But as you get older, you mature, they help you mature, and you get to a position where everybody's really fighting for the same thing.
We compete one against each other, but sure we ain't gonna shoot one each other either.
AGC helped me in my business life clearly by understanding all the various contractors and agencies in our community. It was a roadmap.
If you don't network, you're gonna die. You really gotta keep involved with everybody. And it doesn't matter if they're somebody you'll never do business with, but just to hear their stories and understand how everybody's working, it sure gives you an insight of how to run your own business.
Getting to where you can understand the labor concerns of the other members was very positive for me.
The help that AGC provided during our labor negotiations has been one of the most outstanding things they could do. That determines if you're going to be in business or out of business.
By being associated with members, and they kind of led the way how to do it right.
You absolutely have to join AGC so you can get to know everybody else that you're going to be working with, all the other contractors. I can't say enough about the networking.
AGC's probably helped me, get out there more in the public eye, and also working with the other contractors and committees and stuff.
Well, I think the Nevada chapter is to take care of our industry locally in terms of labor, development, training, helping some of the smaller contractors with insurance and guidance in areas where they may not have the resources.
I've learned a ton from AGC, from all of my involvement. All of that information comes back to my employees, and we're always going over it and making sure that they understand what's going on.
Also, just the learning aspect at national conventions, I brought back so much stuff. I think my employees used to go nuts because I come back and say, hey, heard about this, and we're going to try this.
Well, Nevada chapter AGC is kind of where I grew up, cut my teeth in the construction industry, and I will tell you, I don't believe today that I would be in a role that I'm in unless I had been associated with AGC and a lot of the fellow contractors who were much more senior than I was at the time that took myself in, took our company in.
Skill, integrity, responsibility. You try to exercise all those qualities in your business, and it means something.
They were very active in lobbying at the legislature, making sure that our legislators were creating laws that were livable for our industry. Now, having said that, it didn't happen all the time.
That is the big, sort of the hallmark, I think, of AGC is being involved with the legislature in letting the legislatures know what items are critical to the industry and to us so that they're well informed.
We fixed construction defects, which was probably one of the biggest accomplishments at the legislature that we've ever had.
I recognized that somebody was doing the heavy lifting as far as representing the contractors at the state and national level. I came to realize that the AGC was probably the best voice for that.
We're always being, targeted by some legislative action. Somebody's always beating up the industry, and AGC they're the guys we throw under the bus and to go fight it back.
If we don't have the support from the legislature and everybody else, so we ain't gonna succeed.
I think when you're a small company, just the advantages of belonging to AGC, the safety, the legislative issues, the things that you really have a difficult time handling on your own when you're small, but when you're grouped together, we're just such a bigger force.
We'd be fractured into all of our industry associations. There would not be a common voice for the construction industry.
Deal with the politicians, even if you are not the kind of guy that I really love the politicians.
Well, I kind of grew up in the AGC, because even when my dad Puro was president, I went to a lot of conventions with them, attended many things with them.
When my dad was president in 1980, and I remember he used to say, he said, contractors are the best people he'd want to be surrounded by because they're low-key, hard-working individuals.
Really happy to see him follow in my footsteps, and he was raised in the construction industry.
She got the same drive that I do, and thinking back, was a surprise? I don't think so.
My mom and dad, all their friends were contractors and in the AGC. They went to all the social events at the AGC with all their friends.
Like, this is my 32nd Christmas party that I went to last year consecutively, right?
It was what you did. If you were in the construction industry, it was part of your social life and of your work life was belonging to AGC.
It brought a lot of people closer together within the industry. In other words, maybe I would have never been such good friends with Norm or Ludd or Ernie or these guys without the AGC having us all together. We all became really good friends, and we still are.
The AGC is the heart and the backbone of the community. They're always ready to give whatever is necessary to help out good causes, but they're always ready to stand up and fight for what's right as far as the community is concerned and the industry.
I think our industry is probably one of the most generous industries in the world when it comes to doing something that needs the support in your community, whether it's for the veterans, the parks, the youth. I mean, all of those things are really important, and you just look around here and AGC touched many of projects in northern Nevada.
Because it's our community, it's important to be involved in the community.
But it always seems like the contractors step up to the plate and take care of the problem or take care of a charity. I mean, we have a very caring, loving membership in AGC, and we're used to getting things done. We get it done.
You go to any Little League field or soccer field in town, you look at all the banners, don't see a lot of doctors and lawyers, but you see construction companies and construction suppliers and all construction related type businesses.
Craig and I made I think we made 10 phone calls. It took us all of about an hour and a half, and we raised right around $12,000. I had people that I called in this association that we were asking people to give like $1,000. I had people say, you know what, I'm gonna give you $2,000.
I thought of what makes AGC successful. And the first thing that came to mind was the membership, their willingness to serve, and their continued support of the community.
It's the heart of this organization. We have a tendency to give more than we get back.
There are so many benevolent, community-minded contractors willing to donate time and effort and get involved, and it's really been exciting to be a part of that. It's a feel-good story for sure.
The CLC, or Construction Leadership Council, that's the future of Northern Nevada construction. We've got unbelievable talent pool coming up through that program. They will be our future leaders of AGC.
AGC is the reason that ACE exists. Not only have all our members stepped up financially, but when we needed a building, AGC members came together. We did all the tenant improvements for the current building that ACE High School is in now. A lot of our members have ACE students working for them in the summer or working for them full-time once they got out of school.
Trying to nurture the next generation, because I'm leaving. And I don't know when, but it's not that far out. I hope to make it out alive. But we need to nurture our younger people to get involved and start looking ahead. They've got probably better tools to look out that little further than we do.
There's a number of other issues just facing our firms that I think AGC can help tackle. Workforce development being one. The industry is changing completely, both on our craft, primarily on our craft workforce. And so the AGC can be a lead, and collectively we can work on that together.
The new contractors coming up are smarter, better looking, and I just see that they're going to be a wonderful organization in the future.
If you belong to AGC, you've got to hold yourself a little higher. Your ethics have to be good. You got to be able to look yourself in the mirror at night and say, okay, don't lie to that guy in the mirror, I think is what you got to do when you're a member of AGC.
Made me a better contractor. It made me a better person for our community.
There's always going to be a place for AGC to be that group that brings everyone together and deals with the issues that need to be dealt with and make our industry continue to thrive and get better, but make the community get better as well.
The integrity that the association has and the relationships that's been built over 80 years has contributed to the community, the local agencies, the elected officials saying, okay, the agency has some gravitas, we'll listen to what they have to say and their concerns, and no contractor could do that by themselves.
Happy birthday to AGC. And I'm so proud to be such a small part of what has happened over the last 80 years.
And like I say, this is the best organization I ever known, and I'm proud to be part of it.
Congratulations to the AGC, and I hope the young fellows that are here now can carry on through, and maybe 20 or 30 years from now they'll be sitting here where I'm at, talking about 100 years or 110.
Lots of robots will be in this conference room in 80 years from now.